In 2007, a businessman named Emmanuel Fijabi did something that would end up becoming a national scandal. He owns a couple of shops in the UK where he sells food items and things like that. But his customers, who were mostly Nigerians, started asking for Nigerian Coke and Fanta. So he imported 2 containers of Nigerian-made Fanta and Sprite. When the containers got to the UK, customs seized them. It didn't make sense because it wasn't illegal to import beverages. The man was confused. The drinks were not fake. In fact, they were bought from Coca-Cola. So he couldn't understand why a drink that millions of Nigerians consume every day is not fit for human consumption. But that was not even his problem. His problem now was that he wants his money back. So he dragged Coca-Cola to court. Apparently, the brand preserves their drinks with benzoic acid, which is normal. But the problem is that the moment benzoic acid comes in contact with vitamin C or orange juice, it becomes benzene. And that could cause cancer. In the UK, for instance, the maximum amount of benzoic acid allowed in soft drink is 150 milligrams per kg. The Nigerian Fanta that was seized, it had 188, while the Sprite had between 161 and 201. Coca-Cola started explaining. They said that different countries have different limits for these things, which is true. But then, they said that Nigeria's temperature is hot, which is why they needed more preservatives to keep the drink stable. But what they didn't mention is that heat makes the formation of benzene happen very fast. So apparently, Nigerians have been exposing their drinks to the sun without knowing that they could cause cancer. Coca-Cola's explanation didn't make sense, but they stood by it. Dr. Demo didn't just sue Coca-Cola, he also sued NAFDAC. He actually won. The judge ordered NAFDAC to make NBC put a warning note on every single bottle of Fanta and Sprite, warning them not to drink it with vitamin C because it could cause cancer. The judge even went as far as saying that NAFDAC has been irresponsible in its job to Nigerians. Coke appealed that decision, but you know what's even more shocking? NAFDAC, the very agency that's supposed to keep Nigerians safe, also appealed that decision. Today, those drinks are still being sold as if nothing happened. But the question is, why do multinationals get away with any and everything, even things they can't do in their home countries? Let me tell you another story. In 2020, an organization called NCAP bought some of the most famous vehicles being sold to African consumers and then did a crash test on them. They got a Nissan truck that was made by Nissan in South Africa, and they got another one that was made by Nissan in Europe, and then crashed them in a head-on test. The European one completely destroyed the African one. It was so bad that even the airbags were not enough to save the occupants of the African one. Do you know what's even more interesting? That particular truck that Nissan manufactures in South Africa has already been given 0 stars in terms of safety. But guess what? Those trucks are still being used on African roads. Those trucks are still being sold. And it's not just cars. These companies know what they are doing. And no, it's not ignorance. They just don't care. Unfortunately, African regulators don't care too. So it's not a surprise that life expectancy on the continent is the lowest in the world.